Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is Aaron Trevino here, and we have a terrific guest. We have Dickie Baldwin from the Baldwin Advisory Group, and I'm real excited to have him on the show. How you doing, Dickie?
Fantastic. Beautiful day. Beautiful day.
Yes, sir. That's correct. Another beautiful day. I know that we've had this in the works for a bit. I've been talking a bit about real estate, a bit about notes, and a bit about you. So I'm pretty excited to kick this off, and I think it's going to be really informative, and it's going to be a fun one.
Absolute. Baldwin Advisor Group, BAG is here to serve.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. So, for those of us who don't know you, could you introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Dickie Baldwin, uh, founder of Baldwin Advisory Group, goes by BAG. Our simple slogan is one bag for all your real estate services. So, a little bit about me. I've been in the industry 35 plus years. Started out as a realtor, then became a loan originator, got into wholesale lending, correspondent lending, warehouse lending, uh, multiple net branch operations set up around the country. Been in the title industry as well as being an investor. So I'm in your shoes. Um, as I said, after 35 years, I had turned 70 in 2018. So I figured it was time to hang it up. And after a couple of days of really being bored, I said, wait a minute, there's too many people out in the investing world that need help. And there's also very seasoned people that need help. So that's why I put BAG together. I basically went to all the vendors that I've worked with, been associated with throughout the years, gave them my idea of BAG, which is, as I said, one stop for all your real estate services. And so what we're going to go over today is just everything that BAG is able to offer you as an investor, to where you don't have to get on the internet and try and find something. Chances are it's already in BAG. So what we could do, if you want me to share the screen, I'll just start off showing you the website.
Yes, sir. Far away.
Let me get host disabled participant share screen. Okay, you're gonna have to give me authority to share. There we are.
Good work right now.
Got it. All right. Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. What this is, once again, Baldwin Advisory Group. If you ever need to get a hold of me, the phone number is 936-447-4170. Email dbaldwin@baldwinadvisorygroup.com. I will say that I'm in the process of rebuilding the website to where you'll be able to click on, and then that goes directly to an email. Time being, just remember that. It's dbaldwin@baldwinadvisorygroup.com. What does BAG offer, and why has BAG done this? Let's go to the first two things: broker price opinions and title searches. There's many times that, especially a new investor, doesn't know where to go to get a BPO. They don't know where to go to get a title search, because, as you very well know, Aaron, a lot of investors don't invest in their own backyard. So they may be in one state investing in another. They've got no contacts. What do I do? The other thing is, I call it strength in numbers. And what do I mean by that? A typical investor will probably do 5 to 10 BPOs and title searches a year. BAG does hundreds every month. So what does that mean to you? It I'm dealing with the vendor, but because of the support of everybody in BAG, the numbers grow bigger and bigger and bigger with a vendor where they don't want to lose 200 or 300 transactions a month, even though they may be individual orders. It's still a lot of orders a month. And so everybody's able to take advantage of, once again, the strength in numbers. I'm sure that everybody knows what a broker price opinion is, but if you don't, I've also tried to make the website to where it was investor friendly. For instance, when you click on the read more, here is a brief description of exactly what a BPO is. It's when a third-party vendor has vetted agents within a particular area, and their job is to go out and get a value for that vendor. They're not there to try and get a listing, put a lot of foopah in it. They're there to get a value. What happens is when they complete the report, which will have 3 recently sold comps in the neighborhood, 3 recently listed comps in the neighborhood, and then the subject, and then these are MLS listings, they are able to get a fair market value. Now there is an after repaired value, which if that is presented the same time the order is done, then the agent can take that in mind when they're doing an after repair value. Because keep in mind, on an exterior BPO, the agent doesn't go into the house. They don't walk around the house. In fact, many of them are instructed not to approach the house for trespassing, safety, etc. BAG does offer interior. If you happen to have a lockbox or you can get into the house, we can do an exterior or interior. And then there's also a product called a property inspection report. A property inspection report is where an agent will go out, take pictures of the subject, then answer a list of questions. Is it single family residence? Is it multifamily? Is it manufactured home, etc.? Is it occupied or vacant? Is it standard for the neighborhood? All of these questions are answered directly by the agent that's facing the property, and then submits the report. The thing about the property inspection report is it does not have a value. So if you're comfortable with the investment that you're wanting to buy, as far as value goes, you may consider doing the property inspection report because it's that day picture, and you want to make sure that the house hadn't burnt down or whatever the case may happen to be, which has happened more than once.
Really? Wow.
I'm also working with a vendor. Many of your group may be in contract for deeds or seller finance situations where they are holding the paper on an asset outside of their own location. It would get very, very expensive to check on that property on a regular basis. So I'm developing a product with my vendor to where they will go out and take a picture of the subject and then answer just a couple of very basic questions, because you're receiving your income from the contract for deed or the payments or the seller finance, but you just don't know what the people are doing to the house that is living there. So this little product, I'm hoping that it will be a retail around $25, which is, if you own a lot of properties, it may be well worth to go out every 6 months or so just to make sure that the house is still standing or that they are taking care of it. And that's the biggest thing. Quickly, there is an order form that is available, but personally, if you have a BPO, interior, exterior, property inspection report, I would just as soon you email me, give me the address, and let me take it from there versus the order form. That way, we're also able to keep a chain on emails about the product. If you decide to do the form, though, you just fill in your company information, the subject property information, check off if you want an exterior BPO, an interior BPO. I also do full appraisals. There's a product called a hybrid appraisal, which I also do, that it's in between a BPO and a full-blown appraisal. As you very well know, a full-blown appraisal is going to cost you several $1,000s in most instances. The hybrid appraisal, an agent will actually take pictures of the subject, and then it is given to a licensed appraiser who will determine value. So it's a little bit different because a BPO, the value is determined by the local agent. The hybrid appraisal, it's done by an appraiser, which obviously has a lot more education, training, etc., on determining a value. A lot of my lenders are utilizing the hybrid appraisal before they will even think about doing a loan for somebody. Simply put in the code, hit submit, and it comes to me directly. Any questions on that one there?
Sure. So could you kind of roll back to maybe some of the differences between a BPO and an appraisal? You know, because on the surface it sounds great paying less for the BPO, but could you kind of maybe talk about the pros and cons of having a BPO?
Absolutely. Well, let me get in here. Okay. My little mouse isn't working right. On the BPO, that is done by an agent. The comparisons between the two, there's going to be 3 sold comps within a neighborhood and 3 listed comps within a neighborhood. That's the same thing that a hybrid appraisal is going to have. The difference is the value is determined by an agent strictly off of the MLS. They don't, adjustments are made for square footage, room size, and things of this nature automatically on a BPO in the formulas that they put the information in. The hybrid appraiser, as I said, is a licensed appraiser, and they're able to get more detailed about the specs of a property. Does that answer the question on that one?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Getting out of there. Title search. What is a title search? A title search is when a abstractor will go and pull all the taxes, liens, and judgments on a property. And there's several different types of title searches that can be done. You may hear the term O&E. That's owner and encumbrances. Well, that is exactly the same thing as a current owner search. The other option is a two-owner search, which obviously goes further back into the history of the chain of ownership. Most investors will use the O&E or current owner search when evaluating the asset that they're wanting to purchase. As I said, it comes in and it takes all of the recorded information about the subject property, any liens that are against it, any encumbrances, ownership. All of that is part of the recorded documents that is then put into a form along with all of the recorded, the deed or the mortgage, what the taxes, whatever happens to be recorded at the courthouse is part of the title search, both in the current owner as well as the to owner. There's a little, once again, a order form where you can put the company information, property information. Do you want a current owner search? The foreclosure, that is a to owner search. I can even go back to a 30-year if you want to go to the very beginning of when the property was first handled. I can also do commercial title searches. I might mention I can also do commercial appraisals. In some instances, you can't really do a BPO on a commercial property with a regular agent. You really need to have that information from a commercial agent.
Sure.
An update is a very useful tool. I'm able, if you're looking at a file and you have a title search, say that's done 6 months ago, I'm able to do an update from when that last search was done up to the present. So you don't have to have the full report. And I'm able to do that with most of the previous title searches that may be in the collateral package. Once again, putting the code in, hitting submit, and once again, it comes directly to me, or just go to the email and just give me the address. Every once in a while, if it's a difficult, I may require asking for the APN or the parcel number. Some of the other things that are offered in BAG, REO and notes. This is a very popular thing. I'm in a position where I have a lot of sellers when inventory is available. They come to me and ask me to help them sell their assets. I've got a lot of buyers that are coming to me, want me to help them find assets, both notes and REOs. So very simple form. Once again, company information. You let me know if you're a seller or a buyer. Are you a private or institutional? What I mean by that, private being an individual, institutional, hedge fund, bank, etc. Then we get into the specs of what you want. If you're in the notes, do you want performing, non-performing, contract for deed? It's just simply checking the box on what you want. On the new form that is being developed as we speak, it'll have seconds on there because the second market is really starting to expand. Once you've completed this, one or all, you tell me what states you like to invest in. Most investors are limited to 3 to 5 or maybe 10 states versus covering the whole nation. Any comments that you may happen to have? I do the same thing with REOs. You want residential, commercial, bulk, individual? Tell me what states you want. Any comments you may happen to have? Put the code in, hit submit. What do I do with this? I will enter it into the database. So Aaron, you've completed the form. and you tell me that you want a non-performing note in Idaho, and one of my sellers may have some product that he's wanting to sell that has a note in Idaho. I simply put Aaron directly with that seller to where you can deal one-on-one. Because BAG doesn't chase documents. They don't tell you what color the house is. They don't talk about interest rates. They don't talk about pricing. That's why I'd much rather have you as the buyer talking directly with the seller. BAG does receive a fee from the seller of 1 point. That's it, if anything closes. So even if you got assets that you may be wanting to sell, you can let me know that you're a seller. And then if you have the note in Idaho and I've got a buyer looking for a note in Idaho, I simply put you guys together. Anything closes, I collect a point from you. Once again, completing the form, code, hit submit. Now this form you really do need to put in, because that'd be a lot of typing to put all the different states and all the different product that you want. So although some people do email me, I'm still able to enter it into the database, but on this particular, I would prefer to have the form. So we don't take a whole lot of time. Let me highlight, and Aaron, if you happen to have any questions, I can go through each one of these, and real quickly you can see how many individual services BAG has got. If anyone is interested in seller financing, I've got a nationwide RMLO that I will introduce you to. You're able to talk with them one-on-one, and they are able to originate a seller finance mortgage for you compliant to Dodd-Frank. Now let's talk about money real quick so everybody can be on the same page. The only thing that BAG actually collects on from you, the client, are BPOs and title searches. Reason being is I am the customer. These items are private labeled under the BAG logo. You'll probably start seeing collateral packages with my due diligence work inside the collateral package, if it's a note being sold from one to the other. These are the only items that I collect on. What happens when the job is completed, I'll invoice you, and then you just pay BAG, and I in turn pay the vendor. All of these other services that are available, you need a nationwide RMLO. I introduce you directly to the RMLO. You talk with them one-on-one. When the job's completed, you pay that RMLO whatever the fee is, and then I've got a referral agreement with that RMLO. It is for the same for all of the vendors in here. Property preservation. This is what is property preservation? Typically, it's taking care of vacant properties that a lot of note holders have. A lot of times the grass is growing up, or it needs to be winterized, or it needs to be secured. That all falls under property preservation. And just to give you a quick idea of all the things, and this isn't all of them, but we can secure a property. We can do window glazing. We can do boarding. We can empty out a vacant house. We can do landscaping. We can cap water lines. We can do winterizations. We can also do rehab. So once again, most investors don't invest in their own backyard. So they've got to have something that they can rely on to get the job done so they don't have to get on an airplane and fly to the location. All you have to do is call me.
Yep, that's right.
There are also various money lenders. I've got private and hard money. The reason I have various, there's no one lender that does exactly the same program as the other. So I've got a pretty good handle on what the money lenders offer. So if you need it, I simply introduce you directly to that particular vendor. If you need a traditional closing, I have a nationwide title company. I'm also beginning to do a lot of lender title policies. And Aaron, let me ask you, in your group, have you talked about the benefit of a lender's title policy?
No, sir. Would you explain what that is?
Absolutely. When you purchase a home, for instance, you receive not the insurance on the structure, but on the property itself, the asset. In a note, you can get what's called a lender's title policy, to where the title company will issue a insurance policy against that note after doing the research to make sure that there are no taxes, liens, or judgments, any kind of hair that may be on that note. Why is it good? Number one, it really that increases the value of that note because you've got insurance. There's also many investors that are in JVs. It gives your JV partner a little bit better handle or feel of the investment, because if anything pops up on that note that the title company missed, it's just like on your homeowners. If anything pops up, the title company is responsible. Do you have to do it? No. But it's starting to be a coming thing in the note industry. In order to do it, though, you need to make sure that all the recordings are done properly and registered and recorded with the counties before you can even think about getting title insurance on the note. That sort of cover the title insurance?
Yes.
Okay. If you have a title that needs curative work, there's hair, or they cure defects. Instead of calling it hair, they cure the defects. If you get a package, if you're getting ready to purchase an asset and you have a file in front of you and it's your first time, you probably don't know what you're looking at. So I have a vendor that is able to go through that collateral package on your behalf. And basically what they do, they let you know what you do have in the collateral package. They let you know what you don't have and what you should have in order to make an intelligent decision on the purchase of the asset. The vendor also will do assignments and recordings. After you had purchased the note, I buy something from Aaron. It's transferred from Aaron's company to my company. That needs to be recorded in whatever county that transaction happens. If somebody has a whole bunch of files in their bedroom closet, we're able to store them in safe areas, fireproof and waterproof. If you need a mortgage servicer, if you're looking for one or you're not happy with the one you got, I can put you in touch with some of my mortgage servicing companies. If you don't have a self-directed IRA, I would suggest it, because I also have vendors that can do the self-directed IRA for you. So you can purchase assets with your retirement or your 401. I have an IRS tax attorney that will take on the IRS. Right here, I also have a nationwide network of investor-friendly attorneys that can assist in foreclosure, evictions, bankruptcies. I got the United States covered. This I'm really proud of. I have a nationwide network of investor-friendly realtors. What do the investor-friendly realtors do? The realtors, and I have over 100 right now. The goal is to have one in every major city of the United States. But what these realtors can do, not only list, sell, and property manage, but you're in Oregon and you have a property in Georgia, this realtor can change the door locks. They can clean out an empty house. They can winterize it. They can cut the grass. Whatever needs to be done, the investor-friendly realtor is your feet on the ground and able to help you with your out-of-state asset. It's a huge, huge undertaking, but the realtors have been fantastic about it, especially in winterization. I just did a post letting all investors that have properties in the north that are vacant, you better get it winterized. Now, if you're from Arizona or California, you probably don't know what winterization is, but if you have property in Wisconsin, well, it's starting to freeze already in Wisconsin. So you don't want busted pipes. Can also do skip tracing. Can put you with the vendor on doing that one at a time or bulk tracings. And to come, I already have the product, but the box isn't completed yet. I can do force placed insurance. If you're wanting to set up an LLC, I can help you with both of those. I can also assist you in credit repair. A lot of folks are wanting to boost that FICO score up, and so I've got a service that can assist on that. That is pretty much the services of a bag. Once again, the whole concept is strength in numbers. To find the top-notch vendors in each one of these categories, it's already done. So you don't have to, once again, climb on that internet and post. In fact, yesterday, ironically, in one of the Facebook groups, there was a company that was looking for a new BPO vendor. Well, several of my customers turned around and said, contact BAG. They can do your BPOs. They do all of our BPOs. Had a conversation with him, and looks like we're going to be doing 500-600 of his assets on BPOs. So BAG is not only for the little guy, but it's for the bigger ones. But I will tell you this, Aaron, a lot of new investors have grown with BAG, and they started out with one asset, then it was two, then they were in a position to buy two or three at a time. And I've got several. There's a gentleman, an investor out in Colorado that was a full-time engineer, got into investing, and he quit his job. And he's investing in notes full-time. So it can be done. The whole key, because I've been an investor myself, and I know this, you've got to know about your taxes, liens, and judgments. You've got to know what is the property looking like. If you're comfortable with the value, fine. At least get the property inspection report. Those are the two most important things that you're going to do in the determination if you want to buy that asset. Yes, there's a cost to doing due diligence, but for instance, on a title search, which costs you $85, including all the documents, they're all part of the report, cost you $85. If you don't spend that $85, it could very well cost you $8,500 or more if there's any taxes, liens, or judgments against that. Can you do it online? Sometimes yes, but many times you have to have an abstractor go and do it. And many times when you're doing it online, you may not know what you're looking at.
That's right.
So do what you do best. That is invest and make the asset successful. Let the people that do this every single day do the third party outsource for you. And that's why BAG is here.
Absolutely. Is there anything that you haven't said, Dickie, that you'd really just like to hit home?
You know, I think the upcoming year, as we all know, inventory is I'd say low right now as compared to what it has been. With all the indications that are going to be happening after the first of the year, I think that we're going to see an awful lot. Unfortunately, we're going to be seeing an awful lot of non-performing mortgages coming in. I also think we're going to see an awful lot of REOs. Real estate investing is one of the best investments that anybody can make. Is there a risk? Any investment's a risk. But in most cases, you either have a lien on the property or you actually have the collateral if you're on the REO side. If it's more than what you think that you can handle, I've got quite a few experienced investors that are bringing in JV partners. I've got a couple that have gone through the SEC paperwork, and it takes about a year to get approved by the SEC to set up a fund. I've got one that's approved by the SEC that you can make a minimal investment of $200, which you can get some kind of return on. But I would highly recommend education. Reach out to me anytime that you want to. As I said, I've been doing this 35 years. If I don't have the answer, I'll find the answer for you. So but education, and I applaud you for putting such a large group together of interested investors, because it takes everybody working together. No one person can do it all. Have you found that yourself?
Yep, that's right. You know, it definitely takes a group of people to get it done, whatever it may be, right?
You're building your team. You're building your team.
Absolutely, Dickie. Well, I sure learned a lot about, kind of your business, what you have to do or what you have to offer. Those BPOs, the title searches, dealing with notes, REOs, your service, you really run the gamut there, and it's great that you're able to share that. So thank you.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity to let everybody know about it. Once again, if you need me, phone number 936-447-4170, or email dbaldwin@baldwinadvisorygroup.com.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And I'll put that in the YouTube video description as well. Dickie, again, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really enjoyed learning a bit more about BAG, and a few different nuances about the industry. So it's been great having you as a guest. So thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Have a great day.
You as well. Bye.
Bye-bye.